and Andrew certainly addressed the two top 100 commits that came in on Saturday as well. Were those two that you had pretty much marked down as definitely Texas A&M commits, or do you think the recent surge helped out the Aggies there?
Well, I think on both fronts, they both kind of went similar trajectory or different trajectories. Beginning with Chris Marshall, he's actually good friends with Devon Achane, who went to Fort Bend Marshall as well, and actually played a kind of a key role in convincing him to even play college football to begin with, because he was a really good basketball player and still is a very good basketball player at Fort Bend Marshall. So I always kind of thought, when I talked to people around Texas, always kind of thought that relationship would play a key role down the line. He went on an official visit to A&M and over the summer and really enjoyed it. Came back for the South Carolina game, and I think A&M had really kind of reaffirmed their position after that game, and just the environment at Kyle Field ended up kind of selling him. And they beat out some other pretty big programs in USC, Alabama was in the mix, just to name a few. So I think he was a guy that I kind of keeping my eye on going back to the spring. But it was, leave no doubt, it was a really important target for A&M, because I think they still need to add a little bit of juice to that wide receiver room, and I think he brings that athleticism wise, size wise, just what he's able to do. I think it's a tremendous addition to the class, and a guy that could add a lot to that receiver room. As for Walter Nolan, I think the momentum had kind of been trending that way. He came on a visit in July to A&M's recruiting barbecue pool party, and that completely changed the direction of the race. A&M was able to put themselves in the mix. They weren't really in the mix before that, but that pool party kind of changed where things were going there. He came back for the Alabama game on an official visit, and obviously that went tremendously, and just what they were able to show there. He came back again for the South Carolina game, and then he came back again this past weekend, and I think that's when started to get a little bit of attention. And it wasn't something that was necessarily surprising when he came back for a third time. It was a matter of, would this be the weekend that he ends up announcing his decision? And it came together very quickly. For those that haven't seen the video, it's on his Instagram of him kind of telling Jimbo Fisher at midfield about his decision, and that's a heck of a way to get some news right before you play Auburn. But just a tremendous job by the A&M staff over the past couple of months to get themselves into that race, deliver on the couple visits this fall, and get him to keep coming back, because he's from Powell, Tennessee, or Powell High, just down the road from Knoxville in Tennessee. And Tennessee's not going to give up. There's no doubt about that. They're going to continue pushing over the next month and see if they can get him on campus and continue to try. But it's just a testament to the job by Terry Price, Elijah Robinson to really change the momentum of that recruitment over the past couple of months. And I think some struggles by other programs helped there too. At one point Florida was very much in the mix, and they're having a ton of problems right now, to say the least, with Dan Mullen and recruiting overall over there. So I think A&M kind of took advantage of an opportunity and sold him on his fit in the defense and what he was able to do.
We're only 5 to 6 weeks away from National Signing Day.
Yeah.
Right now, looking at the 247 board, Texas A&M has 16 hard commits, number 3 in the SEC, number 6 nationally. Do you think this class is pretty well solidified, or do you think that there's quite a few key guys on the fence that we have to wait on their decision?
A&M's probably going to have a pretty active month. They've still got some work to do on both lines, on the defensive and offensive line, continuing to plug away at guys like Cam Dewberry and Kelvin Banks and Mark Nabu, who would be just huge adds on the offensive line. I think there's still more work to do there. Nato Umazelo is another one from Allen up here. And then on the defensive line, there's still quite a few big targets left on the board, and Shamar Stewart and Eni White and Amari Abor. I'm going to see him this week. So get the latest on him. Ohio State is another school that's very much in the mix there, and so there's still quite a bit of work to do. They've put themselves similar to what they've done with Walter Nolan. It's happened a little bit quicker, but they've put themselves in the mix for another 5-star wide receiver, Evan Stewart, who's come back 2 straight games now. He came back for the South Carolina game and then was there this past weekend. So A&M has put themselves in the mix to have an extremely strong finish. I think the addition of Walter Nolan gives them a chance at the number 1 class, depending on how the next few months go. But Jimbo Fisher's always been really good about closing out classes and kind of knowing when to hit the gas pedal and close out strong. So I think A&M is going to be a program to watch over the next couple of months.